You've articulated a really big problem. How do you break it down into something that Audax Health Solutions can actually do something about?
Yeah, I mean, so for us, it's a huge problem. It touches every person in the United States, let alone the world. And health is, by its core, the single most personal thing that we have. And so, if you start with that and start with how it makes, how health makes you feel, how you feel with your family, when you wake up in the morning, why you work out, or whatever you think about, it's about you. And you start with the person, you start with the individual, start with the consumer. And once you build an infrastructure around the consumer, around intelligence, social plays a huge impact. So why do people that look like John Scully work out? Well, what if you get 10 of them to work out together? Do you get higher retention rates? Analytics is enormously powerful. So how do I start to break down that person and make it extremely individualized and personalized? That's one of the things that's always been missing in healthcare is, they always say sort of, you need this, but it's actually you is this very broad you. Might just be a male versus someone like me who, travels and has a following lifestyle. And so for me, I start to break it down and say, start with the person, how they feel, how they think, how they engage, and then start to bring in all the other pieces like the physician, like the health plan, like the employer. But if you engage and empower that individual, you'll disrupt everything and change the world. If you try to build around the system, there's just too many parts and it's too big of a system to actually affect change. But you can't have a consumer-driven system without a consumer.
So I've always thought if you're going to build $1 billion business, you better start by solving $1 billion problem. You've talked about this $1 billion problem. What's the $1 billion solution that Audax does that makes your company so attractively to consumers, to the whole health system, and why it's been such a success in such a short period of time?
Yeah, it's all about, again, it's all about trying to change behavior and empower that individual consumer. And so,
So it's consumer engagement.
correct. And so if you focus on that consumer who might spend $10,000 or $12,000 a year just in insurance premiums, you can do the math very quickly. It gets to $1 billion really fast.
Okay, so what is the experience that I, as a consumer, using your service can actually expect to have?
Yeah, so we try to put health in the most broad terms into the hands of that consumer. So we'll say, hey, John, you pay $12,000 a year, you have a policy with United Healthcare. What if you were, and we'll make a recommendation to you, so again, getting back to that personal touch, what if you walk 3 miles a day and use a device, a biometric device? Quantified self-movement is huge around devices changing how we think about ourselves. You walk 3 miles a day, I'll lower your premium 3%. Do it again for another 6 months, I'll lower it 5%. And then we start to drive content to you and saying, hey, John, by the way, did you know that men that are 40 to 60 who walk 3 miles a day should also focus on getting X amount of hydration? And if you follow those goals. And so we start to build this plan about who John is and how to engage that person in both the cost side, but then also the quality and longevity side. So it really is around wellness and how you feel. And we take you through that progression from who you are to actions and plans you can change, and to involving actual care and seeing which physicians you should and shouldn't see based off of cost and quality.